not doing so well, though. It's not the spirit box, it's me saying that.
Alright, let's get him out.
Yeah, let's do this.
It's sweaty.
What's going on?
I'm sweating my armpits, man. I know this sounds gross, I'm not trying to sound...
What's up, buddy? Tell me.
I'm sweating.
Yeah.
You alright?
Yeah.
Right, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, buddy. Heartbeat's a little fast.
Okay, let's unplug this.
Yeah, unplug that. Actually, there's an off switch. We just pull the plug, so. Yeah. All right, we're gonna take you downstairs when we go outside, okay? I'm gonna help you up. Come up. Come up. 3, 2, 1, up. There we are, buddy. All right, you okay? You steady? You're lightheaded. All right, I got you. Josh, you got his arm. I'm serious. Grab his arm. Good. We're going outside. Sarah, grab my voice recorder. And then we're going outside. India, bring your camera, will never forgive you.
In the small city of Malvern, Iowa, sits one of the paranormal community's most treasured buildings. From being rushed by a tall shadow man to feeling the icy brush of invisible hands, it seems as though almost every visitor to the Malvern Manor leaves with a strange story to tell. Built by Captain Jacob Cullers in the 1870s, the building first served as a boarding house before transitioning into a hotel during the 1890s. In 1956, the hotel was sold, and the building began a new era as a nursing home before becoming a group home in the 1970s, and finally, an assisted living facility for those with intellectual disabilities until it closed for good in 2005. To get a better understanding of this highly active location, we met with 3 people who know the Malvern Manor better than most. Paranormal investigator Sarah Stream, paranormal author Richard Estep, and the Manor's co-owner, Josh Hurd.
I'm Richard Estep, author of The Devil's Coming to Get Me, The Haunting of Malvern Manor. I'd heard about this location for several years before I made it out here. Malvern Manor has that reputation as being a kind of buried gem in the paranormal community. It's one of those places that isn't oversaturated, so it keeps rewarding me and I keep coming back wanting to find out more and more about what's going on here. The Shadow Man hallway has probably been the most active for me, which would be the nursing wing. I recorded the sound of a woman sobbing in the middle of that particular hallway.
47. Yes.
The was that?
I just heard that.
that?
What was that?
Which I found was very impressive, especially as all the members of my team were accounted for. 30 minutes after we first set foot in this building, one of my colleagues, a lady called Jill, her ear began to bleed spontaneously. She had a laceration that she wasn't able to explain. So bizarre things started happening to us from the very beginning when we first came to Malvern.
My name is Sarah Stream. I'm a paranormal investigator, and I help Josh with tours around Malvern Manor. I've been investigating here for about 4 years now. At my very first event here, I was very new to investigating. It was only the second time I'd ever investigated, and I actually got physically touched at that investigation by something that we couldn't see. It felt like somebody grabbed my leg. I was laying on the floor on my stomach and just felt like somebody grabbed my leg.
What would you say is the one experience you've had here that you just like kind of blows your mind a little bit?
I think the one that stands out the most is we were investigating in the Shadow Man hallway. It was me and my partner Rob, and there were a few other people here. I was sitting on a chair right outside door number 2. I totally just blanked out for about 20 minutes. Everyone was just sitting quietly. And I remember waking up and being pissed off at the world and wanting to murder somebody. I stood up and I was like, I need to get the out of here, and went outside and calmed down. Rob was a little freaked out. He's pretty sure that I was possessed.
Do you feel that there's one spirit here that you communicate with the most?
I do. I think that there is one spirit here that likes to hang out and talk to me the most. He's identified himself as number 1. I have a working theory that he is pretending to be everything else in the manor. He's kind of running the show and giving investigators what they want to hear.
It's an interesting theory, this idea that number 1 is this gestalt entity, this one spirit wearing multiple faces, multiple facets. And I wouldn't say that I agree or disagree. I don't think that we have enough evidence to be sure of that either way. Number one turned up, or that name, that voice started turning up on spirit boxes and EVPs at a very specific point in time. And this was long after other spirits had been documented here at Malvern Manor. So while it may be the case that number one is the dominant entity here, I think it's a stretch or a leap to conclude that he or it is the only entity here. I think when you look at the overall, the grand scheme of things here at Malvern Manor, I think you have different layers, like the layers of an onion. And every time you peel back one, you get to another. So there are definitely residual components here. There are many reports of voices from days gone by when this was an active retirement home. So there's that residual component. But then at the other end of the spectrum, you have these interactive aspects. You have voices that will answer your questions directly. You have possibility of being touched. You have objects that are being moved sometimes on request. I think Malvern Manor runs the whole gamut, all the way from interactive/intelligent down to completely residual.
So my name is Josh Hurd. We are standing in what we just call the Shadow Man hallway. This is actually the newest addition to Malvern Manor. It was put on in 1956 to accommodate serving as a nursing home. So there are wider door frames, a lot of like laminate type flooring in the rooms themselves. This is also the area where, you know, the very tall black humanoid figure will come out of room 2 all the way at the end of the hallway and then run at people. This is also usually the phenomenon that is sending the majority of people out the front door. So that's kind of like the main thing that happens back here. However, we do have some pretty interesting things that just came to our attention not that long ago. We actually, and this happens on occasion, we have former staff, former nurses or whatever that will come, they'll knock on the door and they'll be like, hey, I used to work here. Do you mind if I walk around the place? And I'm like, yeah, sure, that sounds great. Do you mind if I go with you? You know, maybe walk me down memory lane. What was your day to day? And on this particular occasion, it was kind of interesting. So down here at the other end of the hallway, if you guys want to follow me down here, I'll show you. This is Rebecca's room. Now, this is certainly one of the more sad stories that we have here. Rebecca was brought in here. She was dropped off by her husband, actually, which apparently back in the day was something you could just do, right? She was only in her mid-30s, so I mean, she was quite young, but obviously she thought, my husband doesn't love me, he doesn't find me attractive anymore. This became quite the obsession for her. She would actually stand right here at this sink, looking into this mirror right here, and she would pluck the hair out of her head one by one by one. Because of all of these obsessive type behaviors, we do know that she was very heavily medicated. The medication didn't really react well with her at all. She stopped eating, she stopped drinking, she quite literally just wasted away to nothing. I will say that female investigators seem to have the most luck in this room, for whatever reason that may be. So, playing with your hair, tugging on your pant legs, nothing violent or anything like that, certainly. There's also a very interesting disembodied smell in this room. It's very sporadic. So it'll come and go, but it almost smells like body odor, like somebody hasn't put on deodorant in a few days. So she is interesting. When the lights used to work, they would go on and off and on and off and all sorts of fun stuff too. So one of the first things that I ended up doing after getting this building and kind of taking it over, we invited some of the former nursing staff back here. Just, again, walk me down memory lane. This was one of the areas they stopped. The gentleman over here in room 18 pretty much had the whole bed check schedule down to a science. They said that 3 to 4 times a week, usually in the middle of the night, he would sneak across the hall into room 17 right here, where he would then sexually assault the gentleman that was in this room. There's over 150 pieces of documentation that would suggest this probably happened. It always kind of rubbed me the wrong way, just because 150 is an awful lot. I mean, really 4 would be a lot. Like, if you knew this was happening, you would take one of these gentlemen out of the equation, right? Maybe the problem would eliminate itself, but that never happened. Because I can also tell you, just looking at the documentation, that these 2 gentlemen coexisted for at least 5 years. One night we were doing a a public event. We had a couple of the guys from that show, Ghost Hunters, that was here. We were in room 17. We were asking very specific questions, and plain as day over the spirit box that we had going. This voice says, "That never happened." And it was very adamant and kind of pissed about the fact that, no, you're telling the story wrong, that never happened. I perked up a little bit and I said, well, what did happen? And he said, I loved him. Then over the next 2 hours, this spirit suggested that these two were in fact a couple. They loved each other very much. Some of the best EVPs I've ever captured have been from these two rooms, right here, for sure. So this might be a hot spot for you guys, I don't know. So this is Hank's room, or Henry's room, and I always just say it kind of depends on the day and just what he wants to be called. He's your very stereotypical grumpy old man. Like, he would sit out on the front porch and he would like throw rocks at children, things like that, so he's just kind of a butthead. We also know he has a very strong dislike for females. He does not enjoy the company of ladies at all, and he will call you pretty much any vulgar name you could possibly imagine. Everything in Malvern Manor is how we found it. Right? Like, we haven't done anything to the building. That includes even the clothing items that are still here in the dresser drawer. Now, I will also say that the clothes seem to kind of be that catalyst for the activity. So, like, messing with these clothes, even folding the clothes up nicely, placing them back in the drawer, ladies especially putting on the clothes seems to elicit responses as well. I'll show you one other thing here too that's fairly interesting, kind of disgusting. But here in the top drawer, there are fingernail or toenail clippings of some sort here.
Oh my God.
Again, just things that we have found that we have not touched. Not that I'm touching that, because it's disgusting, however. So maybe we have a little Hank DNA or something like that. Another one of the first things that we did was we ended up hiring a private detective to really lock down like some of the history of the place, right? This gentleman did a 3-week-long investigation, but then after which we had him spend another week up here in this hallway, specifically for reasons like this that you see along the wall, these little stains and smears. Now, they continue throughout the entire hallway. However, once you come down just a little bit further, here on like the room number 22, I'm gonna shut this just to show you a little better, but it's been kind of smeared into the door, right? Around the corner specifically is probably the most disturbing for me. However, it's very obvious that somebody has grabbed a hold of the corner. And then another large stain just over here behind you as well. 3 different tests on 3 separate sections of this hallway. Each time comes back positive for human blood. He was also able to tell us this was the same person, whoever it was. The questions I still have, I'm never going to have a definitive answer to. How it got here, why it was never cleaned up. I would go as far as to say that I can't imagine these bloodstains would be left in an active facility. So I'm almost suggesting that when this building fell into disuse in 2005, maybe a squatter or something was up here, trying to live up here. I have no idea. Susie was a middle-aged patient. Mentally, Susie was probably closer to about 8 or 9 years old. So we found a lot of these coloring books and activity books and things like that here, which now people have started to add to her collection, which is super great. We openly invite people to color in these books or leave her a note or a message, put them up on the wall like other people have done here. She is one that absolutely loves the interaction with people, right? She just loves the company. Where it fascinates me is the activity itself seems to be contained to this room, and we're not quite sure why that would be. Every other, what I call resident spirit around here is fairly transient, and they will follow you and mess with you all day and night long, but she stays put. Numerous times I've tried to kind of coax her out of the room. I have set up board games at the end of the hallway over there where we first entered the hallway. I have set up what looks like a makeshift birthday party, like with like cupcakes and balloons and music and just fun, you know? And come on, this is gonna be a great time, come to the party and blah, blah, blah. And it's always the same response. I can't leave, I'm scared, he won't let me leave. And I don't know who he is that she's referencing.
Where do you get those over? Do you get that over like a voice box?
Yes, usually just a standard
Spirit box.
Just even a standard recorder. It's definitely one of the more cheery rooms that we have here at the manor for sure, with all the pictures that people have decorated the walls with, and the yellow paint on the wall. Yeah, so she's fun. All right.
All right, everybody. India and I are here in Malvern, Iowa, and we are doing an investigation at the Malvern Manor. Are you excited for tonight's investigation?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because I've heard so much about Malvern Manor, and I really would like to encounter the Shadow Man. And I also am interested to see if Hank will take a disliking to me, as he seems to do with a lot of women. So I think we could get some good stuff tonight.
So tonight we have special guests too in this episode.
Yeah, we're going to be joined by guest investigators Richard Estep and Sarah Stream. We also may have Josh Hurd in.
Yeah, Josh Hurd will be filming us, I think, for his own project, but if we see him on the camera, he's just filming us for his own project outside of here.
Right, so are you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's get
go.
back into Malvern Manor.
We began the night with Connor investigating the Shadow Man hallway, followed by myself investigating Rebecca's room. After nothing particularly noteworthy happening, we decided to move the investigation upstairs, with Sarah and I paying a visit to Hank, a spirit known to have a very strong distaste for women. Alright, so right now Sarah and I are in Hank's room, and we're going to see if we can get him to come out and talk to us. I have the portal set up on top of this chest of drawers. We're going to be trying to get him to come out. I'm going to be folding his clothes, maybe trying him on, because we heard that he doesn't really like that too much, which under normal circumstances I would not do something that spirits don't like, but since this guy seems to not like any women, don't really mind. So, alright, let's turn on the portal and see if we can hear anything. Hi. I've come a long way to see you. My name is India. Hi. Did you hear that? I did. Hi. Are these your clothes in here? They're a bit of a mess. Do you mind if I tidy them up a little bit? Do you not want us to mess with your clothes? I'm just gonna neaten them up a little bit. Can I try on one of your shirts, Hank? Hank, I think I would fit into one of these, and like it's really chilly downstairs. Do you think I could wear one downstairs? What about this one? Sarah, I think you should try this one. Again. Ooh, I like shirt. Yeah, I like that one on you. Wait, who do you think looks better, me or Sarah? Sweetheart? Oh my god, what's Sarah? Here, I'll fold that and put it away for you. Thank you. Oh, I think I like this one better.
That's enough.
Yeah, we did it. That's enough. I think I'm gonna try this one on. It looks a little more comfy. Oh yeah, I've got a little bit more. I do.
I started a game of solitaire. Do you want to play with us?
investigated. I really think that this is a nice room. I like this room. Would it be okay if I stayed here? Fun. You want to have some fun?
For the next phase of our investigation, we wanted to try an Estes method that focused on rooms 17 and 18, which Josh had recommended as a hotspot earlier. To try and amp up the energy, Richard plugged in a Tesla coil and let it run on the floor next to me. Everyone then went out into the hallway and waited for the spirits to start speaking.
If there's any spirits up here in any of his rooms, or the room that India is in right now, in this room right here I'm pointing at, we can hear you come through India from any questions that we ask from Richard or Sarah or myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can we know your name? Tonight, we just want to get to know you and figure out your story. Do you guys have any questions?
Do you know any of us that are up here right now?
Good evening, gentlemen. Can we speak to one of the residents of either of these two rooms, please? We've heard stories about you, and we'd like to know the truth of them. It's very quiet and still up here. Who's the person who said yeah?
Whose room is this?
Was it Hank that was talking to Sarah in India?
Okay.
Okay, that's weird. But why is it doing that? I think I knocked her.
What's going on?
Did she change the setting by mistake?
I did hear a noise in this room now.
I did too. I'm not sure if it's a raindrop that you would expect to hear more often.
Right. You know what? Let's start with something easy. You know? What is something you like about Malvern Manor? Can you tell us something you like?
You.
Wow. You like me?
Encounter. I think it said encounter, but it cut off.
What? Encounter? You and encounter? That's very weird.
Would you like to have an encounter with Connor?
Oh, God.
You know, in all seriousness.
I know.
No, Connor, listen.
Yeah.
We may go about this completely the wrong way by using a female in these rooms.
I know. That's what I was thinking about.
Would you like to talk through Connor instead of India?
Okay, what was that? That was really weird. That was like, just in this ear, it was like, almost like a breathy sort of, almost like a laugh, but I don't know if it was a laugh.
Oh my God.
We should put you under.
Stop. It was a woman. I don't know, it might not have been stop. She said something.
Gentlemen, would you like the opportunity to get to know Connor better?
All you gotta say is yes, and I'll go in the room for you.
A bit.
A bit.
A bit.
They'd like to get to know you a bit better.
I'll go in the room and you can use me and speak through me if you like. Get to know me.
It was a man's voice, I don't know what he said. I might say please.
Okay, I guess I'm coming in the room.
Okay, I mean, it seems pretty clear cut to me.
Yeah, I mean, I can't deny it because it's very responsive to what we're saying.
All right, gentlemen, Connor's in the room. Can you speak through him? Or to him?
That was a man's voice. He just did that something.
So like a throat clearing or something? Are you preparing to speak to Connor?
That was a guy, but I could not make out what he said.
Gentlemen, could you please speak
clear.
a little more clearly? Speak slowly, clearly, into Connor's ear, or into the box at his side.
Whoa, okay. I felt something in my hand for a second. That was really strange. I was holding my hand and I could feel a tingle go across it with my hair. It was really weird. Maybe it was me.
You know what, gentlemen, if that is you, could you touch Connor on top of his head, please? Could you pat him on top of the head like this? You have footsteps Josh heard is coming up. So, gentlemen, whoever you are, could you please pat Connor on the head like that, just to let him know that you're affectionate and friendly?
That was a guy. Yeah, I don't know what he said. It was like so quiet, but he was saying something.
We appreciate you trying to speak with us, gentlemen. Could just one of you, come forward and speak as clearly and loudly as you can?
Coming in for support or something?
Thank you for that. Gentlemen, could you let the other man speak now, please? The other male voice. What would you like to tell Connor? Do you know the name of the gentleman at this end of the hallway, standing up? Whose room is this?
Because they threw me in.
So they threw me in.
You hold me. That was it.
I mean, this is all very violent kind of stuff.
It is.
Keep talking, Richard, they're talking to you.
They threw you into where? You're safe now, it's okay. You can talk to us. Who threw you? What had they done to you, sir?
Oh my god, that was creepy. I don't know what the guy said, but that was really weird. He whispered in the ear. Ugh.
Are you the same person that was talking to the ladies down in Hank's room earlier?
Oh my god, that was a kid. That was so weird. This kid this was a little girl that said, "Mommy?" Oh my god, that was so clear. Holy cow.
Weird too. So I've got a little girl.
Wow.
Wait,
In that closet.
isn't there the woman here that said something, "Are you my mummy?" or something?
What do you mean? You've recorded a little girl in that closet before?
Correct. I left a recorder rolling in that closet for 45 minutes. I've left
Oh my
it
god,
rolling
it's so
for
weird.
lunch.
You looked genuinely
Because he
frustrated.
deserved that.
Because you deserve that. Hey little girl, what's your name?
Oh my god, that's the kid again. It said, "Mommy," but very, very quiet.
Wow.
Hey, sweetheart, can you tell me your name? Can any of you tell us who the little girl is, please?
Creep?
Are you calling me a creep?
Unfortunately, while reviewing the responses from this session of this little girl yelling for mommy, it was not recorded. Our voice recorder plugged into the spirit box malfunctioned, and only static was heard during playback. While I was doing this Estes method, I began to focus heavily on the static coming through the headphones while staring at the Tesla coil. This is when everything was about to get very unsettling.
Where did the little girl go?
I'm not the one.
Where did the little girl go?
The power of. That was really clear. It's a dude's voice.
For the third time, where did the little girl go, please?
I wanted to see how fast you...
I'm sure you're doing your best, but is there anything we can do to help you speak with us more easily? I'd like to speak to the gentlemen that were residents in these rooms, please.
That was a guy, his voice was so deep. It's kind of really creepy. What did I just heard?
Sir, is that your voice talking to me? Were you in one of these rooms?
You read too much.
I'm guilty as charged.
There are words have never been spoken.
That's where something... I'm not doing so well, though. It's not in the spirit box, it's me saying that.
Alright, let's get him
Kind
out.
of getting
Yeah, let's do that.
sweaty.
What's going on?
I'm starting to sweat. I'm sweating the armpits, man. I know this sounds gross. I'm not trying to sound...
What's up, buddy? Tell me.
I'm starting to sweat.
Give me a hand.
You alright?
Yeah. Right, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, buddy. Heartbeat's a little fast.
Okay, let's unplug this.
Yeah, unplug that. Actually, there's an off switch. We just pull the plugs out.
The
Yeah. Alright, we're going to take you downstairs when we go outside, okay? I'm going to help you up. Come up. Come up. 3, 2, 1, up. There we are, buddy. Alright, you okay? You steady? You're lightheaded? Alright, I got you. Josh, you grab his arm. I'm serious. Grab his arm.
Good.
We're going outside. Sarah, grab my voice recorder. And then we're going outside. India, bring your camera, I'll never forgive you. Fine. Can't put your hand on the rail.
Good.
Okay, I got you, buddy. I got you. That's cool. Have a seat. Take some breaths.
I'm like shaking.
Alright, slow breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, okay?
I feel so strange right now. I'm like shaking.
Go get me a bottle of water.
I'm like tensed up. I feel shaking and I'm just trying to control it.
Okay, so relax as best you can, okay? I want you to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Real slow. Yeah, you are shaking.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
Your heart rate's a little fast.
oops, sorry.
Here we go.
This isn't me doing this, right?
I want you to sip on this just a little bit. You'll be fine. I think we left you under there a little too long. So I want you to just sip of the water, okay?
Yeah.
Don't chug, just sip a little bit. Focus on your breathing. Have you ever had a reaction like this before to a...
No, I don't. I'd never really do it. You know, it just came on to me. Like I just started sweating.
Huh.
Do you think there was too much ozone in the room from your Tesla coil?
I mean, it's possible, but I've never seen that kind of symptom before. Also very quick on step.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm just trying to stop shaking. I don't know what this is. I'm like, my arms are like this. I could just start feeling sweat. It's just started getting intense. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Because you seemed like fine 1 minute,
Yeah.
and then the next, it was almost like a switch was thrown.
Yeah. Okay, I think
What's up?
I'm sort of slowing down.
Easy, buddy, easy. I got you. You seemed really weirded out, and a couple of times I saw you do this. You were like you were looking up at something.
I wasn't looking at anything particular. I just, I started losing focus. Like I was staring at the Tesla coil. I was just watching the flames. I was just kind of like trying to focus on static. And I started losing myself, and I'd catch myself.
I think you got into a near hypnotic state almost with that darkness, the Tesla coil. I really do. But you were coming up with some stuff that was
Relevant.
I wonder if there's something going on.
I wanted to keep doing it.
After taking a short break to let Connor relax, we headed back upstairs to see if we could finish the night communicating with the ghost of Susie, a former resident.
Susie was a middle-aged patient. Mentally, Susie was probably closer to about 8 or 9 years old.
Hi, Susie. My name is India. Do you want to come color with me? Josh?
I thought it was Josh. I just didn't say anything.
You want us to get Josh? Do it, something.
Marking.
What was
Well, children.
We're not children? Is that what it said?
yeah.
We know you're not children.
Richard.
Every day. Every day?
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous?
So now,
What's ridiculous?
Can we speak to Susie?
tobacco.
Tobacco?
Yeah, I heard tobacco. That was crystal clear.
Do you want some tobacco?
Cookies.
Something cookies.
Oh my god, yeah.
Somebody has cookies?
Yeah.
Do you want cookies? Didn't Josh say he made a party for her with cookies?
Yeah, with cupcakes.
Do you want me to bring you some cookies? Oh, that was weird.
Yeah.
What kind of cookies? Chocolate chip, peanut butter, sugar cookies. What's your favorite kind?
That's right.
Malvern. Did you hear that?
I did hear Malvern.
Yeah, we're at Malvern. She's a pretty doll. Does she have a name?
Is there any...
Don't stop.
I heard don't stop, yeah. I was talking though.
Don't stop what? Delinquent.
delinquent, yeah.
You're a delinquent? Who's the delinquent? Give me a name. I just heard the captain.
The captain?
Yeah. Are we talking to the captain or is he the delinquent? The captain.
The captain!
Again!
Yeah!
Thank you! Captain, what's his name? Captain Collins?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Captain! He built this place, right? Captain, did you build this place? You
Whoa.
did?
Well, thank you for lighting that up. You startled us for a second. Thank you.
Number 1, are you here? Are you the captain, number 1? Right, thank you for talking with us. We're gonna leave now. After serving numerous purposes over its lifetime, it comes as no surprise that the vacant rooms of the Malvern Manor still feel alive with the memories of numerous souls who once called it home, some only for a night and others for years. It is easy to understand why this building has become such a popular spot for paranormal investigators. The spirits here seem very willing to share their stories. We feel very fortunate to have left with our own story to tell.